A hearty welcome to you. Today we're going to be focusing on how you, and perhaps friends of yours as well, could become a venture capitalist with as little as $100. That's an idea that is a little bit foreign to the average person. We think of venture capitalists and we think of those millionaires and multimillionaires and billionaires. And yes, there are many of those, but that world is opening up to us in increasing fashion through a beautiful thing called crowdfunding. And that notion of crowdfunding may be new to you, or you may not have heard it applied to something in your area, in your world, in your neighborhood. But you too can become a venture capitalist with as little as $100. I don't know if you're aware, but do you know that Netflix and companies like Shopify and Uber, Airbnb, of course, Microsoft, they've been in the news, uh, Bill and Melinda actually for some different reasons this week, but many others all needed venture capital, and a venture capitalist, the one that came in or the ones that came in, made very, very big profits on those types of venture. So that's what we're looking at and trying to learn from, and we have learned from. We'd like to pass on that lesson to you and the opportunity that comes with it. What if you could participate in a venture capital raise for something new, the world's biggest financial technology project, with as little as $100? What if you could participate in that? How would that change your life? How could that change your life? And that's the question we'd like you to think about today. Imagine receiving equity and profits from the development of a new technology that will change the whole financial trading industry. Now, this is not cars, this is not taxis, this is not food. This is how actually the biggest institutions in the world have been making money, and how they have been making money will be fundamentally changed through this project. Imagine getting on the inside of that, and imagine how profitable that could be for yourselves. And the best part of this venture capital raise is it is only available to the general public. It's the little guys like you and me. It's not only the big end of town, as has been the case in 99.99999% of opportunities until this time. And that's the beauty of crowdfunding in the digital age, the blockchain age. But there are already big institutional investment firms that are knocking at the door. They're offering the money. They're actually telling the company that we're crowdfunding to not crowdfund it and to only stick with the big institutional investment firms. They actually want to keep this information to themselves. They don't want the average person to get this information, because they want the average person to pay to pay a lot more to try to get into it, and they want this kind of technology only for themselves. But they're not able to do that because the company has already decided, the company's already committed, the company's heart is to reach the average person like you and me, but they won't be able to participate in the way that they want, but you can participate in the way that you want. Folks, there are three types of people when it comes to money and wealth generation. One group of money, they spend more than they make. Second group of people, they spend all they make. And a third and very rare group, and a group in which I hope you find yourselves or will find yourselves, they spend less than they make, and they put the surplus to work. Those are the people that can build wealth. There's two simple ways to create passive cash flow: wealth and financial independence. And these are the two ways. You really have to figure out which one they're in if you want to create. And that's new: creation of passive cash flow, creation of wealth, and creation of financial independence. If you have capital, now that could be cash, that could be crypto, that could be real estate, it could be other assets, but you need to have assets that you can use and put your capital to work, put your money, let your money make money. And that's where you'll get to with this raising of capital that we're doing through crowdfunding. But the other way is you have no or very little capital, and you can use something called sweat equity. And with sweat equity, you can build capital and then be able to go back and do the first thing. In other words, use your sweat equity to build capital, and then be smart enough not to spend it all, not to spend more than you get, but to actually save some, and then do that beautiful wealth creation cycle called putting your capital to work to generate profits. So that's what we're looking at here today. And we're blessed that this opportunity has both options, where you can put your capital to work if you've got that, or you can use sweat equity and build capital, and then take that capital and put your capital to work to generate profits. Financial independence. Well, what is it? A lot of us think about it, but what is it really? Financial independence is when you can live off your profits and you don't have to eat your capital. Financial independence is when you're no longer dependent on the sweat of your brow, but you can live off of what your capital is producing, and you're not having to eat your capital. I remember my father, very astute person in the financial realm, and like many people that are not as common these days, he had saved up and diversified his portfolio and invested. He was in the financial world, as I said, so he was probably better educated on that than many people. But he learned that secret and was able to retire early and travel the world throughout his life after he retired at age 62. The old way that people tended to retire back in the day, and they don't tend to do that anymore. But he could just live off of his profits and not have to eat his capital, and that capital just survived and served him and our family really until the end of his days. But too many people don't have that really arranged. They're not financially independent. But what if you could find that, where you could build up enough capital that the profits from your capital paid for everything, not only your needs, but the things that you want, and enabled you to live your dreams. Just imagine what that would be like. Because wealth is built when you can pay for life's luxuries with your profits and not touch your capital. And we've been teaching this over the last number of weeks, looking at compounding and how to build up wealth, how to let your money work for you, and how to set that aside so that you don't eat it. Far too many people just succumb to the immediacy of their needs or their wants, or even their lack of education in financial matters. We're really working with a system and training on how to help people make that quantum shift to where they have wealth built, so that you can pay for the things that you want with your profits and let your capital still continue to grow in freedom. Freedom is a realm beyond that. When you've attained that, freedom is a state of mind too, of course, but freedom in the financial context is when you can build capital and generate cash flow, and you can do that from anywhere in the world, any time of the day, in any economic environment, in any setting, with as little as a phone, a laptop, and an internet connection. That's another kind of freedom that very, very few people get to experience. But that is within your grasp if you take advantage of the right opportunities and exercise the discipline to build that capital, and then use that to generate cash flow while not taking and eating your capital. Key concepts. I hope you're getting those very important key concepts that we're talking about here. Because this is your opportunity to create wealth and income. And we're going to show you how to benefit from this unique crowdfunding opportunity that has presented itself just in the month of April. This is an opportunity offer that includes equity in an IPO. It's a public offering. That public offering will be in 2022. And that's a world-leading fintech, financial technology company. That will allow you to have a passive income from that technology trading in multiple asset classes. So it starts in the world of cryptocurrency, but then it expands to the world of Forex, it expands to the world of stocks and commodities. So you'll have 3 to 4 different asset classes. And again, remember what your grandparents maybe told you? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, that was right. And that kind of wisdom is included in this opportunity. So you'll have the opportunity as well, not just equity, but also passive income from having this super technology, allowing you to be passively trading in multiple asset classes while you're off doing something else and your capital is building and cash flow is starting to arise. And you can then withdraw your earnings at any time, or you can do what Einstein referred as the great financial miracle, and that is compounding. And that's how you will build wealth. If you withdraw your earnings and not compound, then you're not building wealth. You do have a cash flow, and that would be a benefit that you could take from this opportunity. But the greatest opportunity is to build wealth finally for yourselves. And we'll show you ways that you can do that. You just need to use the financial wisdom that is part of this offering, because this is designed for wealth building. But you will be able to withdraw your earnings anytime and or compound to build long-term wealth. And there's a third option on this one. It is optional, but you can have a referral income, a residual income from introducing other people peer-to-peer. And this can become a life-changing income as well. So yet another income stream included here. And so that's what's on the offering with this opportunity. So think about where we are in the world of technology today. We have artificial intelligence to be used in all sorts of areas in the world. And then we have a new emerging, exciting sector that is changing the financial world called Fintech, financial technology. And when you combine artificial intelligence, which is going to transform so many areas of the world, and Fintech, which is transforming the financial world, you have opportunity. I hope you see that. Artificial intelligence is used by all the top financial institutions. But this particular financial capital raise is funding the development of a new super AI, a new super artificial intelligence. It's being developed by a company that is already serving more than 150 top banks and financial institutions around the world. And we get to crowdfund their development of a new super AI. Now that super AI is designed to create trading profits unseen before. They are projecting that with the current returns that they have been enjoying, that they would be able to quadruple what they've been doing, because they'll be able to use AI to tap into information that's available, but that hasn't been programmable into a computer program. That's why this super AI is such an amazing enhancement. So it will pick up minute details and gather intelligence that we've not been able to gather before and automate. That's this new super AI. And it is why they project it could quadruple the current trading profits that this company has already been enjoying in amazing fashion, trading using the earlier version of AI that they've been launching since 2017 and deploying to the commercial sector, to the institutional sector since 2018. So this is, ladies and gentlemen, the largest financial technology development project in the world. I want you to just think about the words that I just said. The largest financial technology development project in the world. And the likes of you and I get in at the front end. A really unique opportunity. So crowdfunding is something I mentioned before, but let's think about this crowdfunding, because crowdfunding is basically venture capital raising, but making it available for the masses. So I mentioned before that venture capital companies, big institutions, wanted to fund this project, but they were turned down. Now, why is that? Because those venture capital companies want what venture capitals always want. They want control of the project. And of course, part of that control would mean they want to change the objective that the owner of this company, whose name is Dr. Anna Becker, wants to do. She has a heart to help the average person. What a shock. Someone in the financial sector who's wealthy and who has amazing cutting edge technology and intelligence actually wants to help the average person. Shock, shock, shock. The venture capital companies don't. But they have wanted to fund this project. And of course, VCs, as they're known, when they come in, they want control. But this project is different. This project, with the inspiration of Dr. Anna Becker, is about bringing wealth to the masses, not only to institutions. And of course, they'll be able to get this. They can come in like anybody else. They can also pay still the big institutional licenses that will be available. So it's going to be made available to them after we've developed the technology through this crowdfunding. So we're going to benefit when this technology gets taken to the institutions as well as to the masses. Now, how can you do this? Crowdfunding is, as I said, venture capital raising for the masses. So how does it work in this case? Well, you can contribute as little as $100 up to $102,000. You decide your level of contribution. There are 10. I'll show you that in a minute. There's also an opportunity for those of you that want to get VIP access like an institution. You can contribute that $102,000, the top end of the crowdfunding, and you can also then get VIP private access to the trading technology. Some of us have already been able to do that. My wife, Grace, has been doing that, and she has already been accessing VIP private access to the trading technology. And remember, this is still the early phases. So we're using the existing AI at this point, but the results coming out of that are spectacular. And so we're really excited for the next 1 to 3 years to see how all this is going to be playing out. But that's your opportunity as well. So whether you are someone at $100 or $300 or $700 or $1,500 or $3,000 or $6,000, I'll show you the amounts in a minute. There are 10 different levels. Anyway, as I said, from 100 to 102,000, and also VIP 102,000 plus, starting at around 125,000 on up and unlimited. So if you're in that level, or people in that level, that would be another opportunity for you. But this really covers the whole range of people. And so that's why this is crowdfunding for the masses. Now, what are the goals of this crowdfunding? I know you want to do your due diligence, so let's dig into the different things that you would be reaching out for. So this year in 2021, we have two primary goals, and that is firstly to raise $10 million for development and testing of this new super AI. That's goal number one. spectacularly through just basically the first month of the launch. We're a little over 20% there, but we have 80% still to go. And so this is still ground floor. You have an opportunity to participate in that, and that's the equity opportunity. Now, those funds that we contribute also are for this second goal on the top, which is to raise $500 million in a trading fund for AI development and testing. And we're also well underway in terms of raising that capital. And that part of it is we contribute, and the super AI is actually tested with funds that we provide. And then the nice thing about it is that we get a chance to actually have those funds sent back to us when there are profits. Now, there's no guarantee that there will be profits, but from what I've told you, you can imagine that there are profits because this is already have a 3+ years of quite spectacular trading results and results there. So those are our two goals for 2021. There are, as I said, down here in the bottom, the profits made in the trading fund, and this is a testing fund. That trading fund is a testing fund. It's not an investment fund. It's a trading fund to test the technology. Now, the fruits of that we do get to enjoy, but don't think of it as an investment. This is crowdfunding, not investing, and you need to have a different mentality. Now, those profits, as I said, are paid out to contributors as we go. And you get, every time there's a successful trade, a profitable trade, the profit is paid back out, and you can, at that time, withdraw, or we saw before, you can compound. And that compounding secret is your secret to building wealth. So you can take a cash flow, or you can compound. You could do both at some point, but the wisdom would be in the beginning, certainly, to make your focus on compounding. Now, I told you that this is the first phase. There are second and third phases. So there'll be additional fundraising. So we're fundraising 500 million in 2021. Future fundraises in 2022 is the current estimate, although it might happen already starting later in 2021, this year, will be fundraisers for Forex. And then in 2023, that's the projection, will be fundraising in stocks, in commodities, and those related types of AI and trading funds. So we'll have multiple investment pools using this super AI that we're testing in 2021. And of course, the improvement in technology will continue onward with the team that is developing all of this. So what is the company? And that is Endotech. Endotech is a financial technology company. It already has a team of 60+ AI scientists, quants, analysts, developers, and researchers, and they are based in the Tel Aviv area of Israel, in a high technology area. I've been there, I've seen that, I've been in that area now for almost 30 years over the course of time. And it is an amazing area with some really brilliant people in the area of this area of science, mathematicians. And they have gathered the best of the best there and are really working on this technology to improve what has already been spectacular, because they are a leading company already. But Endotech is a world leader in creating AI financial technology for currently only institutional investment firms, and just in the last month, for the likes of you and me. They have prepared a white paper, and that white paper details the project. It was published already in the last couple of months to get input from the world's top AI and trading minds, as well as academics in the education field. because the leader, Dr. Anna Becker, has been a leading publicist. Her publications have been in many universities and leading AI think tanks around the world, including the business school at Harvard, as well as her home university, Technion University, which is basically like the MIT of Israel. Now, Endotech plans to be a public company in 2022. That's a year from now, ladies and gentlemen. And that will be when they bring their super AI to the financial world. So this is not that much of a long-term opportunity. In the world of venture capital and the world of crowdfunding, 1 year is not a long period of time. But you do need to have that kind of scope. This is not a get rich quick overnight kind of opportunity. It's something that is real, true wealth building. Well, you'll be given the opportunity on the inside to venture capital, one of the most important financial breakthroughs of the decade and maybe even of the century. And then be able to also benefit from the technology that we are crowdfunding and helping to develop and test. So I've mentioned this name a few times, but let's just learn a little bit more about Dr. Anna Becker. She is Endotech's CEO. At the tender age of 20, when she was at university at Israel's elite Technion University, as I mentioned, the sort of the MIT or the Oxford of Israel, she had a financial breakthrough where she solved a mathematical algorithmic formula that had escaped the leading minds around the world for over 2 decades. And she solved that at the age of 20. Recognizing her extraordinary abilities, Technion University awarded her a lectureship at Technion University at the age of 20. She moved on at that point and got a PhD in artificial intelligence, and she has been developing financial technology for more than 20 years. She's an author, a speaker, a consultant, a world leader, a compliance expert in the world of AI financial technology. She's previously created and sold a financial technology company in the Forex sector. We're going to come back to Forex, but when she founded Endotech in 2012 and began to focus it in 2017 in a new world, that was cryptocurrency. But she will come back and in 2022 focus that again in the Forex area, perhaps a little bit earlier. And in 2023, the broader areas of commodities and stocks and other realms. But her technologies are currently used by leading banks and investment funds globally, literally around the world. Now, this is the roadmap, and I've alluded to this several times, but it's important for you to see how this works. So Endotech was registered in 2012. They began the research into AI cryptocurrency trading in 2017, but the commercial use of it began in 2018. Late in 2020, there was a crowdfunding valuation where they came up with this concept, and they launched the D.AI.SY crowdfund in a beta test in January and a full launch in April. So just 1 month ago, the D.AI.SY crowdfund was actually formally launched. Now next year, they will complete the D.AI.SY AI. They'll do the IPO. They'll add Forex trading, and they'll add $1 billion more in assets under management to the D.AI.SY trading funds. And I've mentioned already 2023. So I hope you get the idea. This just summarizes several of the things that I've been sharing with you, but we will be adding additional asset classes, stocks, commodities, as well as Forex, as well as crypto. So at least 4 different asset classes. And if you don't understand finances and you understand there's an opportunity in Forex sometimes when there's not an opportunity in crypto. When there's an opportunity in crypto, you run with it. When there's an opportunity in commodities, you run with that. When there's an opportunity in stocks, you run with that. But those 4 opportunities run at different times. And so you can by deploying this super AI in 4 different areas eventually, you'll be able to constantly be tapping into the hot areas of trading opportunity using trading artificial intelligence. This is ingenious, a multi-asset super AI. Just think about that. You getting into crowdfund and benefit from super AI in a multi-asset cash and wealth building machine. That's what we're really talking about here. Now, this is also linked to a smart contract. Smart contracts are a new technology. You may have started to hear about them in 2020, but they are running to the front of the market and will be the front of the market for decades to come. They're a new technology. They ensure that all promised outcomes are delivered. They also ensure transparency, but they operate in a decentralized environment. They're on the blockchain. They're free from human intervention. So all the problems we see sometimes of management and wrong decisions and promises being made and failed and scams and you name it, all that is taken away because the personal dimension is taken away. And this operates in a completely decentralized, transparent fashion on the blockchain without those human frailties being able to interfere. So this gives full transparency on all the transactions. When you crowdfund with the Endotech opportunity that is here, you can actually establish your own account, as we'll talk to you in a minute. You can see everything that happens with the transactions, but also all the transactions of the company you can track on the blockchain. You get instant payouts of referral earnings to your personal wallet that you control as well. So that's the optional benefit, but also a beautiful thing where you have that transparency and that automatic smart contract instant arrangements that your referral earnings and your wealth building earnings and assets are completely decentralized, completely transparent, and completely automatic. That's the benefits of a smart contract. Now, that smart contract is being deployed on the Tron blockchain. So the Tron blockchain is amongst the fastest and most scalable of the blockchains. You may or may not be aware of what a blockchain is, but the Tron blockchain is the top emerging decentralized app. Now, decentralized app, there's basically 2 types. There's the Tron decentralized system and the Ethereum. There probably will be others that will come up, but Tron currently is the top emerging decentralized app. And there's a cryptocurrency on the Tron blockchain that is a stable coin, and that is called USDT. So the cryptocurrency that we use to buy in and to pay out in this particular smart contract and this particular crowdfund opportunity is this USDT TRC20 on the Tron blockchain. Now, it actually is not as well known as the Tether USDT cryptocurrency on the Ethereum blockchain, which is called ERC20. The ERC20 side is a little bit more well known, but in fact, the TRC20, the one we're using, dominates all the USDT liquidity in the market. So it's used as the choice for funding contributions. It has very low transaction fees, 8 times faster than Ethereum actually, and multiple times faster than the Bitcoin blockchain. But because it's being used in a smart contract, especially for transferring funds and thousands of transactions in crowdfunding opportunities such as this, the Tron blockchain is perfect and is the best of the blockchains and the cryptocurrencies with very low transaction fees for transferring those funds. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. We talked about how you could crowdfund, and this is what it looks like. 10 different ways, 10 different levels, and you don't have to make a decision at the front. You could dip your toe in at one of the lower tiers and then work your way up. and you'd be encouraged to do so if you want to build wealth and have a greater opportunity. But it starts with as little as $100. Now that's your total contribution. And those funds in the early levels, you can see these first 7 levels in black, all are split 50-50 between, so $100 here, they're split 50% in the trading fund. That's the fund that we use to test the technology. And what's called the referral pay plan, but the referral pay plan, the funds here are also used to buy your equity shares in Endotech. So basically this is the equity side and this is the trading side. And so you'll see a 50-50 split. So if you contributed $100, your $100 would be split 50% into the trading fund, 50% into the equity and referral pay plan, and you would receive 1 share in a 5% equity pool. So Endotech, the company we're crowdfunding, has set aside 5% of its equity for this crowdfunding opportunity. And all of us as contributors get 1 equity share for every $100 that we put in. That's the simple formula. So you'll see the math on that. If you then get to the next level, $200, you would have contributed 100 and 200. That's a total of 300. You'll see that's still split 150. So half of it goes to the trading fund, half of it goes to the equity and the referral pay plan, and you get 3 shares. So $300 equals three shares in the equity share. Well, you can do the math. You can see $700 is split up the same way. Tier 4 is an $800 contribution, bringing your total contributions to $1,500, split half and half. And that's true down to tier 7. And these are really popular landing spots for a lot of people, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Pretty accessible to most people. So let's look at tier 7. That would be an additional 6,400. That'd take you to about 12,700. In in the developing world, that's way over the heads of most people in parts of Asia, Africa, Latin America. But in other parts of the world, Europe, North America, Japan, some of the other developed parts of the world, that's well within reach of many people. And so you'd still have half of your funds in trading and half of your funds in the equity side. You'd be getting 127 shares. So that's starting to look good. But all of these look good as objectives. And then, of course, you can upgrade. Now, the last 3 tiers are a little bit different because 70% of the contribution. So this tier 8 is a $12,000 contribution on top of the 12,000 that's already been contributed. So you'd be taking your total contribution to 25,000. 70% of this 12,800 is added to the existing trading funds. So this is no longer 50-50 between here. You can see 15,000 on the trading fund and 10,000 on the equity, but you get quite a lot more shares, obviously. And these tiers 8, 9, and 10 are the fast track to really bigger wealth building for people in the developed world, in Europe, North America, and economies of that like. The top end, tier 10, is also the biggest part in the crowdfunding side, but it's also the window to the VIP trading that we talked about before. So you contribute 51,200 on top of the 51,200. That's the total contribution. That's the max contribution in the D.AI.SY smart contract, 102,300, 69,070 traded in the trading fund, and $33,000 in the equity, and also going to the referral pay plan, and 1,023. So again, this ratio, 1,023, you can see that $100 in contribution equals 1 share. So you have 1,023 shares in equity. Now imagine having that many shares, or imagine any of this, imagine these kind of shares in a Microsoft, in an Uber, in any of those Netflix, any of those crowdfund opportunities in those companies that have venture capital, and you get to be the venture capitalist now. So that's the really exciting part about this opportunity to crowdfund and contribute, and you get to make the choice. You have to start here. You can't jump ahead. You need to do one before you do two. You need to do two before you do three, and so forth. But you can do 1 through 10 or 1 through 5 or 1 through 8. That's the choice where you are now. And if your situation changes, then you get more funds, or you want to deploy some of your capital to up your level, you can do that as well. So again, just remember here, 50% of tiers 1 through 7 are allocated to the trading fund. 70% of tiers 8 through 10 are allocated to the trading fund. And this is where you will be building wealth through the accumulation of your trading profits. You'll also be building wealth because obviously we expect the share value to rise when this technology begins to get deployed, and when it's made available and we go public, then we expect, who knows how many X, but we expect some X in the equity side as well as multiple X in the trading side. So this is the powerful thing about the Endotech crowdfunding opportunity. Now, you can be a passive contributor and you can also be active. Let's just explore quickly the benefits for a passive contributor before we bring this home. So 50 to 70%, we saw the numbers just now. 50%, 70% of your contribution goes to the trading fund, and those earn you passive trading rewards. Endotech historically has developed an average, now listen, average annual profit of 200%. Now that's done with compounding. If you don't do compounding, you don't get that annual average. So if you're going to take out everything you earn and not build wealth, you're not compounding, you wouldn't be able to expect this same percentage. But you can figure out that this basically looks like about 10% per month. So even on a cash flow basis, you'd have a nice cash flow, but you wouldn't have a compounded annual profit that will build you wealth. And that's what we're really trying to get everybody to understand. So the goal for you as a passive contributor, to get those passive trading rewards, enjoy and understand and learn the power of compounding and be able to deploy that. And this is the preceding annual profit before we deploy Super AI, which, as I said, is expected to quadruple their previous numbers. Now, that remains to be seen, but that is the expectation. So the goal of the Super AI development is to increase these current trading results up to 4 times. I mean, that is so powerful. But they've done things like that with some of their higher level, a little bit more risky strategies, but their more traditional, normal strategies have been doing this without the benefit of the Super AI. And as a passive contributor, you also get exclusive equity shares in the IPO of Endotech planned for 2022. So again, as a passive contributor, you could take the profits that you've earned in your equity share and sell that off when it goes public in 2022, or you could hold it, draw dividends, and continue to use that as yet another source of income, drawing dividend income from your shares in the exclusive IPO of Endotech. And again, just imagine if you'd been at a venture capitalist for Microsoft or some of the companies that we looked at before, Uber. Just imagine how that would have looked. Imagine if you were a venture capitalist for Zoom. You're watching this presentation on Zoom. Imagine if you'd got in as a venture capitalist of Zoom, and the XXX returns, the people who have been venture capitalists with those kinds of opportunities. This is potentially a greater opportunity. Again, no promises can be made, but that's the offer on the table. Now, that's passive. There is also the opportunity, optional, for you to participate in the Referral Pay Plan. Actually, everybody who contributes on a passive level does get a portion of this Referral Pay Plan. Not going to go into the details of that, but you can also be active and refer people. So there is a referral bonus paid up front, everybody that you introduce on their contributions of personal referrals. There's also network bonuses on up to 10 generations of referrals. So the people you refer and they refer and they refer and they refer down to 10 different generations. Network bonuses paid on that. There's matching bonuses. So when you refer people and they make money, you make money on the money that they made. So that's called a matching bonus. You're also, that's kind of the front end, a little quick summary. On the back end, and this is the exciting part about it, uh, when people make withdrawals and take out trading rewards, there is an income to be earned on the back end as well, again, from up to 10 generations of referrals. You can also earn a share on all the global crowdfunding contributions. That's globally. This is called the Paysetter system, and earn a share of all global trading rewards, again, on the back end. So all global. So this is your team, but you can also tap into a global profit sharing on both front end and back end money. So 6 different powerful ways for you to make money through the referral pay plan. Now, what are the benefits for referring contributors? Well, you earn, in addition to the trading funds and the equity, you create a supplementary income, or it can be a life-changing income from referral commissions. You will receive a share of all crowdfunding contributions and all the trading rewards generated globally. That's your pace setter opportunity. Not going to go into the details of that, but just to give you the idea. You also can get additional equity shares. So I told you there's 5% Endotech shares set aside for everybody who's a contributor, but there's also a separate 5% set aside for the people who make a substantial impact, what's a group called pace setters. And you get additional equity shares in the IPO when you're qualified for those pace setter incentive programs. There's 2 of them. And then you can use your referral income to what? Fund additional crowdfunding contributions, creating more income so you can upgrade. And of course, you can use that referral income as cash flow to yourself as well, or you could use it to fund a VIP trading account with Endotech. So there's lots of different options. This additional income stream gives you a whole number of other very exciting opportunities for yourself. So let's step back and just kind of try to take this all in. Because I'd like you to imagine owning equity in the next tech giant that will revolutionize the financial industry. This will create massive ripples. The super AI and the IPO of Endotech will be a financial trading technology giant. Um, there's no other Anna Becker, and there's no other Endotech. Their track record is impeccable, and they're taking it now to the next level. You have the chance to own equity in the launch of this new tech giant. You can also earn passive trading rewards as the super AI is being developed. And you also have the opportunity to earn referral income by sharing this opportunity with other people. So imagine the impact of all that in terms of income, in terms of wealth building, in terms of cash flow, and in terms of freedom for you and your family. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our presentation. We wish you to get started today, get back to the person who referred this opportunity to you. You can also find out more about the resources. We have tremendous resources and materials to help anybody understand their passive income opportunity, the opportunity that they have to participate in the crowdfunding, in the equity side, and also in the referral plan. So with that being said, we'll thank you for joining with us today. There is a legal disclaimer. Do please bear in mind that this is a crowdfunding contribution. It's a contribution to the equity crowdfund for D.AI.SY AI development. It's not a trading investment. Endotech is giving, as I've said, both shares of stock in the company and profit sharing from rewards that goes to each contributor. So what you've been told is all the information there. Prior to going public, shares of Endotech stock will be rewarded to each crowdfund contributor. There will be a KYC to get those stock certificates before any is done. And if Endotech does not go public, they are committed to convert the equity into dividends for each contributor. Trading accounts, again, this is not a trading investment. These are being used for the purpose of testing and developing. Past performance does not guarantee future results and is for informational purposes only. So historical performances shown are also the results of compounding profits. Profit rewards are contingent on profitable trading performance, and results are not a guarantee. All performance will be visible with full transparency to each crowdfund contributor. And when we say full transparency, it's all on the blockchain. Endotech's history is well known, but they also have retained a top 4 global auditing firm to do at least quarterly, if not monthly reports. You've also seen here that up to 46% of the funds are designated in the smart contract for marketing through the referral rewards plan, and D.AI.SY is not available in all countries. So again, get started today, bearing in mind all that we've said. Imagine the impact that this could have. You are in on the ground floor. Yeah, it is really true. You are in on the ground floor of something that is absolutely huge. I trust that this presentation has helped you to understand that opportunity. We'll be glad to answer any question. And one last thing, this is the first of a series. We will be having 3 more global webinars at different times of the day throughout the next week to really draw this opportunity to the attention of people and kick off a new campaign. So there actually are going to be some exciting awards and rewards in the seminars coming over the course of the next week. Watch your email or the webpage or the Telegram groups that we have for our team, our group, as we will give all these to you. And again, get back to the person who shared this opportunity. Don't waste your time. Get started and be sure to take advantage of everything that it makes available to you. So thank you for attending today. We appreciate your attendance. Take good care. God bless you. Bye-bye.